brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant broadband internet.
It's time. It's time. It's time. And there's people in the studio that we haven't had here before.
There is. We have a special guest today, but before that, I'm going to say that thank you for having us, Jeff. My name is Shane.
I'm Bo.
And I'm Nathan.
And our special guest today is Andrew Kalkbrenner.
All right.
He's the IT manager at Meeker Cooperative and Vibrant Broadband. And we're going to get right into it. Andrew, you grew up in Litchfield, correct?
Yeah, so I grew up just outside of Litchfield. Ever since I was a little kid, started there and went to, Ripley School and Wagner Middle School, or Wagner and then middle school, high school here, and ended up going to college at St. Cloud State to get my computer engineering degree, and then came back here and worked at a couple other internet providers before I started working at the co-op here in 2019. And now I live out in Forest City with my wonderful wife Anna, and we are just loving life.
That's awesome. I went to high school with your dad. I think he was like a grade younger than me.
So are you saying you're old enough to be my dad?
I could be, yes.
Yeah, that's about right. I'm old enough to be your grandpa, so
So what got you into working in internet and like the tech field?
Yeah, so I actually, as I said before, I worked at a couple other internet providers, and really it started with, I always knew I wanted to do something ever since I was a kid in technology, computers, something like that, and went to college, got my computer engineering degree, and then from there I just started doing programming for an internet provider, and then it kind of morphed into doing network stuff, which is what I did when I started working at Vibrant Broadband here. We, kind of built the whole entire network in 2019, and just have been expanding and building ever since.
Yeah, I remember Andrew coming into the Verizon store to get his phones, and you talk about what he's doing in the internet field. Like I think that was before you were working for the co-op even.
I think that was I've always been around here. All the companies I've worked for have been within 30 minutes of Litchfield, so I haven't strayed far.
I remember asking him like talking to him through the phone. I'm like, oh, I think he knows the phone better than I think I know the phone. So I think he'll take it from here.
Yeah.
So I'm not old enough to be your dad, Andrew. I could probably be your brother, maybe a cousin.
Perfect.
Would be preferable. But yeah, thanks for joining us. So one thing I love about Vibrant, it's been different. I've had probably 5 or more internet providers in my life, and I've never had the reliability and the consistent service that I've got with Vibrant. Obviously, I work here, so I feel biased, but it's true that I've never experienced what I experience now. So why don't you kind of give us a brief overview of maybe what makes Vibrant's network different? How is it built? Why does it seem so much more reliable than some of the other options out there?
Yeah, and I believe it all starts with the co-op, right? I mean, we did the same thing with electricity back in 1935. We built to serve our members, and we did it the right way then, and we continue to do it the right way now. So all of our internet backbone, it's all redundant. There's multiple paths every direction. So, fiber cuts are not as intrusive. I mean, there's always people that, could be off a lateral that could get cut or something that could happen. But as far as our backbone, our main core network, it's all redundant. And then back to, our head end, our data center where all of our equipment sits, that's all redundant. We have multiple pieces of all the equipment that can, if a physical piece fails, another one will pick it up, and you won't even notice that happened. So it's just kind of, building it the right way, doing it the right way, the co-op way, and, serving our members and our subscribers, and doing it to the best of our ability and making it as pleasant of an experience for them.
Sure. Yeah, I know, when I go to run a speed test or I go to use the internet with Vibrant, I'm always getting what I'm paying for, which is so different than every other provider I've had. So many providers say, well, we guarantee up to such and such speed, but you really almost never see that speed. Or if you do, it has to be the perfect conditions, the perfect time of day. I swear, when I have Vibrant, morning, evening, when people are home, weekends, whenever, if I need my internet, it's always pretty much there and working. I'm always getting the speed I'm paying for. It's just such a drastic difference than other providers. And I personally have been amazed. As someone who grew up in the Twin Cities, and you think the Twin Cities is a embarrassment of riches with all the technology, and it should be worse than the rural community. When I moved to Litchfield a few years ago, my internet got 10 times better. And I'm like, man, I live so much more rurally, and how is my internet so much better? But that's just a testament to how you and the co-op have built the network. So great job.
And I think that goes into, we're always, the team that I'm part of, we're always watching to make sure our, it's called bandwidth. It's how much data is being used both on our local network between, all of our different substations and on our network connecting out to the internet. We always are, making sure that we have plenty of room for everybody to do what they need to do on our upstream. We have redundant there, and we always, of course, make sure we have enough bandwidth there. Even if one of those has a major outage, we still have enough to go with the other one. So we're not, trying to, squeeze a fire hydrant through a garden hose. We try to keep it so that everybody can have whatever they need to have the best customer experience possible at all times of the day, not just at those perfect times like you were talking about, Nathan.
I agree, and I've got the Vibrant at home, and every time I do a speed test from the router, and it's important that you do the speed test from the router to know exactly what the bandwidth you're getting. Every time I do, I've got the 200 service. It's always over 200. It's 205, 208.
Yep.
All the time. So, and that's up and down. So that's great. Andrew, our system was built on a hybrid system, so we also have fixed wireless. And we always say that our fixed wireless is different than most other providers out there, and some of the older fixed wireless that have, they hop from antenna to antenna. Can you explain a bit more about that?
Yeah, so as part of our initial deployment is trying to, serve as many of our members as we possibly could and get them better, higher speed, more reliable internet. We built 49 monopoles or towers around Meeker County and a little bit into the surrounding counties that every single one of them, we have fiber from our fiber backbone hooked up to it. We don't do any, as Shane mentioned, wireless hops between our towers. It's all fiber right to that, and the only wireless hop that you have is between that tower and your house, and you have an antenna on your house that has that back and forth signal, and that's the only non-hardline part of how our fixed wireless works. So it gives you more reliability, of course, and a lot of times with other fixed wireless systems, you have weather that becomes a part of it because they have all these long backhaul hops, 10 plus miles where they're trying to go from tower to tower to tower, and we don't have those long hops because everybody, our customers are 5-ish miles from the tower, so the rain and the snow doesn't affect that nearly as much as what it does when you're trying to do those long 10 plus mile hops. And with us having fiber to all those, we don't have any of that. So that's the really big difference between how we do our fixed wireless service compared to some others.
And that also allows us to deploy internet to more people right now, whereas when you have to build the infrastructure with fiber, it takes time and money, of course.
Yep, more expensive. Exactly. And a lot longer. And as you can see, it's winter time now, and there's no plows, digging in the ground right now. But we, you can still go hook up a fixed wireless customer, put an antenna on their house, and run the cable inside, and now they have internet. So,
And we've been trying to get you on the show for a while, but. So now you're an IT manager.
Oh. Yeah, I figured I should probably, make a good example for the other people.
I'm pretty sure we gave you that promotion just to get you on the show. That was kind of the plan.
I think that's how that works. So.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about how we keep our customers safe and secure. A lot of people ask when I'm talking to them on the initial sign up, they're like, well, how secure is your network? I get that question a lot. So maybe talk a little bit about how we take steps to make sure everyone's secure.
Yeah, so what we do is, for our residential customers, we actually provide a router at no additional charge for those customers that has built-in firewall protection on it that we run. And basically what it does at a really basic level is it blocks everything coming in and allows everything going out. So it allows you to do what you need to do, doesn't let the bad guys get into your network. It's just a really basic firewall. That's a good way to kind of protect you, but then, we go one step further when we have small and medium-sized businesses in town that might have a point-of-sale system, and they might have a guest Wi-Fi network in the corporate Wi-Fi network and their main network that their computers and stuff run on. And we have more advanced firewalls for our businesses that allows us to separate inside of their network, their point of sale stuff from their other networks, just to kind of keep things more secure on that level as well.
Yeah, one of the things I think that sets Vibrant apart as well is like it seems like you and our network team and everybody involved is always looking to the next technologies, how we can stay ahead of the curve, stay up to date, stay secure, stay delivering the excellent service that our subscribers have come to expect. So, what technologies do you see in the future or recent upgrades that you see our subscribers would benefit from that we're always looking forward to?
Yeah, so, we started in 2019 deploying routers that were, and this a little technical, but they're called Wi-Fi 5. It's the 5th generation of routers, and now our newest routers at, Wi-Fi 6th generation routers. And, we've already started kind of, evaluating and looking towards the future, and what's out now is Wi-Fi 7. It gives you the ability to connect more devices in your house wirelessly, and get higher bandwidth to those devices, so higher speeds to those devices to allow you to play some of those people who are doing gaming or people who are working from home or telehealth. They are able to do those things over wireless connections instead of having to do wired connections, and that's part of just always keeping up to date with the latest and greatest. So that's kind of the stuff in your house that we're trying to evaluate and always try to keep updating as we go, so that you always have the best, fastest as possible technology in your house. And then, talking about kind of the back end network, we're always upgrading to make sure that the demand of our network, as we continue to add subscribers and members onto our network, we are continuously upgrading our backhaul bandwidth that I talked about before. So making sure there's enough internet for people who are using it outside as well. And we just kind of are actually working through an upgrade on that right now. So we always are continuously upgrading, making things faster, better, more reliable, more stable for our members and subscribers.
So I was going to ask Andrew, you'd mentioned something about Microsoft's Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
And, we always thought...
What?
Yep. Flight simulator. So we always thought, well, who's going to use 25 megabits per second and their internet connection? Who needs that much, right? And now it's like, well, who needs 100? And well, now it's who needs 200? And we always say, well, a gig. Who's going to need a gig? Whatever, right? Well, how much bandwidth does that software use?
Yeah, so I was at a conference just recently, and they were talking about how Microsoft Flight Simulator, the new version, can actually take the imagery from Google Earth and live stream it into the game. And it takes 140 megabits per second per one of those streams. So to kind of put that in perspective, our lowest package that we sell on our fiber network is 100 meg. So you couldn't even run that. You need to upgrade packages, and we're talking about going from a Netflix stream, which is about 5 meg to watch a Netflix movie, 5 megabits per second, and now we're talking about 100 plus just to play a video game online.
Wow.
So it's
cool.
coming. It's coming. We're going to need the bandwidth at some point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know Andrew. He showed me some of like the usage across our network, like where we've peaked as a co-op, and how much internet usage has just continued to explode every year. The demands for internet go up and up. People are getting more devices, more cameras, more smart speakers, more streaming, and so many services like football games, Super Bowl, Viking games. All this is moving to streaming services, so the demand on the internet's so much higher. So it's always cool to see Andrew. He's always upgrading. He's always making sure that we have enough equipment, upstream providers. We have enough juice basically to supply all of our customers, even at those peak times, the Super Bowl, the Vikings, Thursday night games. Whenever the peak usage, the most people on the internet are, we pretty much will have it covered. So it's really, really great. Thanks, Andrew, for joining us. We finally got you on. We joked about trying to get you on for a while. So I'm assuming you're going to be a regular attendee and probably co-host the show from now on.
No.
He's taking my job.
Well, he just got a big promotion. Okay, so let's not lose him to the co-op quite yet. Woody, you still have an important role in the radio show.
All right.
So.
I have been told that I have a face for radio, I think is what they say.
I've been down that road.
You look good, Andrew. You look good.
Well, this whether you like it or not, we do put these on Facebook and YouTube with video, so your face will be out there, part of this radio interview. So just be aware of that. So, and if anyone out there is listening and they have questions about stuff we talked about, what makes Vibrant different, why it might be a better experience than some of your other providers out there, stuff like that, give us a call. We're happy to discuss what we can do, if we can help, if it's a good fit or not. Our local number here is 693-3231. We have a lot of great information on our website as well. You can visit vibrantbroadband.com and get a lot of details on there.
Yeah, and like Nathan mentioned, you can go to our YouTube channel, Facebook page to watch these. If you want to see, when you're talking to someone in the office, you can see what they look like now on the YouTube channel, on the video. And then if you want to listen here live, KLFD every Wednesday at 10:30, you can listen to Vibrant U, and we switch it up a little bit. We get some guests on, and we just love to cover all the topics internet related.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jeff, for having us.
You bet. Yep.
Thank you, audience, for listening. Again, thank you, Andrew, for being our guest today. My name is Shane.
I'm Bo.
And I'm Nathan.
Tune in next week for another Vibrant U Live.
Brilliant speed with vibrant service. Vibrant broadband internet. Vibrant broadband internet.